2018 was the year of the teachers' strike, with educators in West Virginia, Oklahoma, and Arizona walking out. And this year looks like more of the same. Teachers in Denver just voted to authorize a strike, and teachers in Oakland are taking a strike vote this week. Meanwhile, teachers in Los Angeles just won a new contract after a week-long walkout. Of course, everyone feels underpaid, but teachers' grievances are grounded in reality. Over the past 25 years, their salaries have fallen compared to workers with similar levels of education and experience. It's a phenomenon researchers call the teacher pay gap, and it's grown from about 3% in the mid-90s to a record high of almost 19% in 2017.
What we saw was a lot of teachers being laid off during the recession across the country. And in many places, those funds have never been reinstituted or upped. And so when you have tight labor markets like we do now, and you start to see wages grow in the broad private sector, we'll see teacher pay getting worse.
Women, who make up about 75% of teachers, have seen their relative pay gap widen much more than male teachers have. In the 1960s, women teachers earned more than their peers did. They now make about 16% less.
Women who were teachers in the 1960s did very well because they were a captive labor pool. We simply didn't let women do very much else in the professional world. Today, there are so many other occupations open to them that pay a lot more money, that are more rewarding, that'll help them pay off their loans.
Some states, like Alaska and Rhode Island, have managed to keep teacher salaries somewhat competitive, but most haven't. And those states with the biggest relative pay gaps are where teacher activism is surging.
There was no increase in spending by the state of Oklahoma over the last 10 years. They pretty much froze their important investments into the public school system.
Americans like to talk about the value of education, and businesses are demanding higher-skilled, better-educated workers. But relative to much of the world, we have little respect for teachers, who are often seen as know-nothing clock punchers living off tax dollars. Couple that with the conservative backlash against government spending, and you end up where we are. Education budgets have barely risen in a decade, and the teacher pay gap is much larger in the U.S. than in most other developed countries.
The issue we're really talking about here is that we have a constant defunding of teacher pay as we have an erosion of public investment in the public school systems more generally. So there's a lot going on here that really plays into the labor market that has been broken for a long time for a lot of people.
We shall not